In this lecture, we will be discussing about the factors affecting the length of air gap in a DC machine. So far in this module, we have discussed about the choice of the specific loadings, P average and AC, choice of number of poles, choice of pole proportion, shape of pole, etc. we have discussed. Now we have to design the air gap also. So regarding the length of air gap, we have to choose the length of air gap and we have to look into the various factors that affects the length of air gap. So let us see those factors. And first factor that we have to consider is the armature reaction. So we know what armature reaction is. Armature reaction is the effect of armature flux on main field flux. So armature MMF will have cross magnetizing as well as demagnetizing effect on the main field MMF. So if we choose a large length for the air gap, if we are choosing a high value of air gap, that is if we are choosing a large air gap, then MMF required for magnetizing the air gap will be high. So we know that the main field MMF that is provided by our poles. The main field MMF is provided by the poles and this main field MMF has to magnetize the air gap. Thereafter flux crosses the air gap and reaches the armature. So when the length of the air gap increases, the MMF required for magnetizing the air gap also increases. So in order to provide such a high MMF, we have to increase the field MMF. So we know that MMF is equal to N into I, number of turns into current. So if we have to increase the field MMF, that means number of turns of field winding has to be increased, which leads to increase in the cost of field system. Amount of copper required increases and cost of field system also increases. But the advantage is that when the field MMF increases, the field becomes strong and the effect of armature MMF on field MMF reduces. That is, that effects of armature reaction, that demerits or disadvantages of armature reaction such as cross magnetizing and demagnetizing effects reduces. So with a larger air gap, the effect of armature reaction can be reduced. So second one is circulating currents. So circulating currents are usually due to some irregularities in the air gap. Okay. So if we are using a large air gap, slight irregularities can be neglected. We know that. So if we are using a large length for the air gap, that slight irregularities can be neglected. And if we are using a small air gap, slight irregularities will become predominant. So with smaller air gap, these irregularities will cause large circulating currents in the machine. So go for a larger air gap. So next one is the pole phase losses. So pole phase losses are the losses which are due to non-uniform flux distribution in the air gap. So we know that in machines, DC machines, the armature is slotted. So due to the presence of slots and teeth on the armature surface, the air gap is non-uniform. So due to this non-uniform nature of the air gap, flux in the air gap will also be non-uniform. That is, flux will be varying. So we know that varying flux will cause eddy current losses. So due to this varying flux, eddy current loss will be produced in the pole shoe, that is on the pole faces. So this loss is known as pole phase losses. So if we are using a larger air gap, the effect of slotting can be neglected. So as in the case of irregularity that we have explained here, if we are using a larger air gap, we can neglect the effect of slotting. Okay. And the pulsation loss also decreases in that case. So next one is the noise. And so if we are using a larger air gap, the noise can be reduced. That means operation of machines with a larger air gap are comparatively quiet. noise can be reduced with a larger air gap. So we know if the length of the air gap increases, the reluctance of air gap also increases. We know that the equation for reluctance is Lg divided by mu A. So when length increases, reluctance also increases. So in that case, noise components cannot travel through the air gap. So we can reduce the noise with a larger air gap. So next one is the cooling. So we can easily explain this point, cooling. So if we are using a larger air gap, the cooling air will get more space to circulate. So larger air gap means there is more space for the cooling air or ventilating air to circulate. So with a larger air gap, cooling becomes better. So next point is the mechanical considerations. So under this point, we are going to consider the unbalanced magnetic pull. So we have studied unbalanced magnetic pull in the first module, and if you refer to that equation for unbalanced magnetic pull, you can see that unbalanced magnetic pull is inversely proportional to the length of air gap. So if we are using a smaller air gap, unbalanced magnetic pull will be more. So we know that due to unbalanced magnetic pull, there will be some eccentricity. That means actually in actual cases, the rotor will be perfectly concentric to the stator. Both will be having the same center. But due to unbalanced magnetic pull, there will be some deflection to the rotor. So if the air gap length is very high, we can neglect this eccentricity or deflection. We can neglect this eccentricity. And with a larger air gap, effect of unbalanced magnetic pull can be neglected. But if the air gap length is small, the eccentricity will be more predominant. Eccentricity എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്തായിരുന്നു? ആക്ച്വലി സ്റ്റേറ്ററും റോട്ടറും തമ്മിൽ കോൺസെൻട്രിക് ആയിട്ടാണ് ഇരിക്കേണ്ടത്. അങ്ങനെ അല്ലാതെ റോട്ടർ ഒരു സ്ലൈറ്റ്ലി ഡിഫ്ലക്റ്റ് ആയിരിക്കുന്ന ആ ഒരു കണ്ടീഷനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ എക്സെൻട്രിക് റോട്ടർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. So if the air gap is large, we can neglect that eccentricity, and if the air gap is small, that eccentricity cannot be neglected, and this leads to a high unbalanced magnetic pull, and it will lead to the fouling of the rotor with respect to the stator. Okay, there may be a chance for the rotor to get collide with the stator. That is fouling of rotor with the stator. So in order to avoid this, we have to use a larger air gap. Okay. So these are the various factors that affect the length of air gap.